Well, hey everyone, welcome to another coach video tip. I'm Dan Foster, Chief Operating Officer and Executive Coach here at Building Champions. And today I'm joined by a good friend and one of our great leaders here at Building Champions, Executive Coach Shannon Eckmann. Shannon, it's great to be with you today.
Hey, it's been a while, so I'm
Yes.
excited to do one of these.
Awesome. Well, you're excited for a topic that is really challenging for people, and that's the topic of conflict. And we're going to talk today about how leaders really need to reframe their mindset around conflict. And you and I both know from coaching individuals, this shows up organizationally in teams, and because we're human, probably in every relationship that we will ever have. So, when leaders approach it with the right mindset, it can actually become a real catalyst, I think, for connection and growth, and not just something that we have to try to survive or avoid in our leadership. So, Shannon, I'm excited to hear from you. Are you ready to jump in?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So, when it comes to conflict, what's the mindset that you believe every good leader really needs to develop?
So, when thinking about this, one
Hmm.
of the things that came to mind right away is that initial mindset shift that conflict is an opportunity, it is not a threat.
That's
And
good. Yeah.
I think even though that sounds pretty basic, that shift in your mind to this is something that is going to get us further if we embrace it, I
Yeah.
think helps to move us off of how do I avoid this
Love
and
it.
instead see it this is part of growth, this is part of collaboration and innovation. And we love those words. So if
Yes.
conflict is the way through it, then
Yeah.
let's do it.
I love that. It's almost just shifting your mindset from, oh, this is going to be terrible
Yeah.
to there's going to be something really good on the other side of this. And this is just our pathway to get there. So I love that. It is a shift in mindset there. So um what do you think, or why do you think conflict is just such a challenge for leaders and us? And I know that's a big question because conflict has been around for millennia. So but why is it a challenge for leaders, do you think?
I think part of it is that it can tap into emotional discomfort and that we don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yep.
We want things to be harmonious. We want to chase results, and conflict can feel like it might get in the way and disrupt all of that.
Yeah.
And so we get into that mindset of I'm going to avoid and I'm going to try and control my way through this versus saying, hey, where are some healthy models, whether it's
Yeah.
role models or structural models
Yeah.
that will help me think through how do I navigate this well so that I actually become really good at this. And
Yeah.
I think that's where your mindset and skill development come in.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I know for me personally, it's a challenge because probably when I know that I've got to have conflict with someone or I'm about to engage in conflict with someone, every bad experience, that narrative just starts going through my head
Yeah.
rather than me thinking about, okay, wait a minute, we can get to the other side of this. There's going to be goodness. And those old narratives start to come in, and that can be a real challenge for the mindset as well. So, what do you say to your clients in terms of how does it look when a leader like does this the right way, when they shift their mindset into a healthy, proactive way? What does that look like for us?
Well, I think a couple things happen right away. The first one is that if I see the conflict coming, I know that there's an opportunity here,
Yeah.
then I become more present and less reactive. So
Yeah.
I'm in that mindset of how do I listen more deeply to what this other party is saying? How do I really ask good questions to make sure that, first of all, I understand what's going on? And if I can do that,
Yep.
then it's less about winning and losing, and it's more about alignment and clarity and growth.
Yeah.
And I can approach this with curiosity, which is a word we use a lot, but really
Mhm.
meaning I can demonstrate that I trust the person I'm talking to. I know we can collaborate well,
Yep.
and ultimately, this is going to impact performance in a good way.
Love it. Love it. And then let's just flip the coin there because what does it look like or what tends to happen when leaders avoid conflict and or they approach it poorly? Because there's some leaders that they don't avoid it, they jump right into it, but they do it really poorly. So what have you seen happens here when that goes on?
Yeah. I think everyone has a certain feeling about conflict. And if we can at least, as a leader, examine where our starting point is. And it doesn't matter if we are someone who never misses a good fight, just jumps right in, or someone who sees it coming and is making a big wide berth around it to make
Right.
sure it doesn't happen. Wherever your starting point is, to really understand that so that you can slow yourself down when you see the conflict beginning to happen. And when leaders don't do that, they just plow headlong into
Yeah.
it
Hmm.
and can say things they regret, can stop communicating in a way that has their team wondering what's going on.
Hmm.
And the team ultimately suffers there, that morale can come down. And let's be honest, teams are trying to achieve results. And if an avoidance or someone who's kind of abrupt and aggressive gets in there, your results are going to suffer.
Yeah.
And I'm following my leader. So if my leader doesn't speak up, chances are what I'm going to begin to do is not speak up.
Yeah.
And that is going to stifle innovation and engagement. And we know the leader didn't mean to do that. That's the thing, is that whatever our starting point is, we get there with good intention. And so
Hmm.
however we can push through that, the uncomfortableness that we talked about a couple minutes ago, if we can push through that, the results on the other side are generally much better than where we're
Yes.
starting.
That's so good. That's so good. Okay, so you've started to paint a picture of what success can look like. Do you have a client story that you can share how a leader made a shift in this area and the results turned out really well for them?
I just actually had one this morning where a client and I were talking about one of their employees that consistently was not doing the job to the
Yeah.
level that he needed to be doing. And the leader was tying themselves up in knots over not wanting to address the situation head on.
Yeah.
And really almost in this like fingers crossed mentality of we're going to see the next month's results come out and I really hope that it's going to go well. And just being able to unlock that a bit and
Mhm.
say, your employee, he wants to win. He
Yeah.
wants to know he is doing excellent work. You may have the keys to help
Yes.
unlock that in him, but because of the uncomfortability of conflict, you're holding back and you're
Mm.
almost doing the exact opposite thing of what that guy actually wants. Never mind
Yes.
need, but wants.
Yep.
And so being able to just reframe a little bit, you can generally see a leader just like, "Whew, okay,
Yeah.
you're right. I don't have to throw the boxing gloves on. What
Yep.
I've got to do is say, I want to help you win. Here's some things that I need you to be aware of, and we need to set some accountability up around it because I really need to see this change."
Love it. Love it, Shannon. It's so good. Thank you for bringing your insight and just this practical wisdom to the conversation. For our viewers out there, one, thanks for joining us. I hope this sparked some fresh thinking. It gave you some new ideas to consider as you're leading others and as you're entering into conflict. If you want to know more about how Shannon does what she just talked to us about with her clients and with teams that she works with, check us out at buildingchampions.com. You can follow us on LinkedIn. Shannon's on LinkedIn as well. That's where you can just learn more about our content, our coaching insights, and you can watch more videos like this. And Here's the thing. If someone you know is wrestling with conflict right now and you think maybe this video would help them, please pass it on. Just a little simple nudge and tell them what you learned about it and refer the video to them. So, Shannon, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's been great to have you back on the Coach Video Tips.
Thank you. See you,
Thank-
everybody.
All right. Talk to you soon, everyone.